Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. On this episode, we talk about the top 10 motorcycles that outlaw bikers ride. I just read a review on the top 10, so I'm going to tell you what I think, if it's true. Is it not? We get into it on this episode of Demons Road TV. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby. Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. Welcome to Demons Road TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything motorcycle club involved. I'm Sos the Ghost. I'm your host for the evening, and today we're going to break down this top 10 motorcycles that outlaw bikers, that 1%ers ride. So I just saw this article on hotcars.com. They did a pretty good job. There's certain things about it that we're going to break down. But real quick, before we break the list down, give me a pound, whatever the name of the bike is that you think is the number one bike that outlaws ride. Is it Pound Glide or Pound Softail Slim or Pound Fat Boy? Whatever bike it is that you feel most outlaw bikers ride with, let me know that in the comments. Now, we all know the Softail Slim is number one, and I'm not just saying that because I got a Softail Slim. The Softail Slim is number one. Now, I'm just messing with y'all, but depending on what region you in, you know, a lot of them rock the Glides, a lot of them rock the Road Kings if you're out on the west, or the Diners, you know, that club style. So let me know what you think is the number one bike for your region, because it's different depending on where you live. And we're gonna break down this list. But the first thing I want you to do, like we always do on this channel, is to hit me with that pound ghosting. And that lets me know you're alive and well, sitting on twos, doing what you do, or just part of the Demons Road community. One of my ghosts. Big shout to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the row. Make sure you hit that bell so you get the notification. Hit the like button. Share this on your Facebook. Feel free to share any of the content, because YouTube has a real problem with giving out the notifications because of a lot of opinions I've had in the past. So I appreciate that. Follow us on Instagram at Demons Row, at Sos the Ghost _, and let's get into it. All right, so it says outlaw bikers love riding these 10 motorcycles. Outlaw bikers are a strong subculture within the motorcycling world and have a well-defined taste in motorcycles. Here are their favorite bikes. Despite outlaw bikers and outlaw motorcycle clubs, or 1% of motorcycle clubs, being the bane of law enforcement the world over, their bad boy appeal and two hoots for the law attitude earned them many fans. Honestly speaking, while many outlaw bikers are not leaving muddy and law skirmish trails, they are not the people ordinary folks want to mess with. So I really like the fact that he said that, just to jump this off. This guy gets it, and it's cool to start seeing it. Like, there's starting to become a little shift where there's a little bit more respect when they talk about MCs. There are a strong subculture within the motorcycling world, and their popularity has often brought flagging motorcycle sales to respectable numbers. It's only natural that outlaw bikers are partial to some motorcycles, with their liking for a brand or particular kind of bike stemming from more reasons than one. It says Harley-Davidson cruisers the number one choice. Depending on club rules and how much an outlaw motorcyclist can afford, Harley-Davidson cruisers are the motorcycle go-to for, especially if you're a fan of the HAMC, the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. So already we know that's not true. You know, they love to throw the Hells Angels in anything, and now I'm understanding even more why, as I dip into the past movies and stuff like that. They had a lot of 81 movies. These members have gone down the Harley-Davidson road from the start, and entry is only given to anyone who owns an HD that is 1000cc and above. So that's not true, because Sonny actually rides an Indian, so you just have to have an American-made bike. So the actual owning a Harley-Davidson is not mandatory, but you know, certain clubs it is. You know, it's not every club, but do 99.9% of the 1% ride Harley-Davidsons? Yes, they do. The actual motorcycle can be up to each member's choice and budget, considering Harleys do not come cheap, not even for outlaws. For HAMC, riding pure American is a matter of pride. So number 9 is Triumph Rocket, Pagan's first ride. While most outlaw motorcycle clubs in the US ride mostly Harley-Davidsons, this was not the case with the Pagan's MC. When they were first formed at the time, this outlaw biker club preferred riding Triumph Rockets. Today, the liking stems from its large engine with crazy torque that hits the road like a berserker. So there's truth in the Triumphs. Definitely back in those days, a lot of 1% clubs, a lot of diamond holders in general rode Triumphs. Later as the years went by, Pagan's MC also shifted to the HDs, although many outlaw MCs in the UK and Europe call the Triumph Rocket their choice of riding down free roads. So if you live where it's created, like if Triumph is created in the UK, that's your America, that's your Harley. So that is like a pride in that. So, you know, I know a lot of clubs that go to other countries, you know, that form up in other countries. They keep a pride where they make Harley-Davidson a standard, but Harley-Davidson is a standard because it's American made and we're Americans. So if you have like, you know, you live in India and they have like an Indian form of a cruiser, you know, that's what you would represent right there. Number 8, Indian Chieftain, when Harley is not an option. If riding a Harley is an OMC's idea of patriotism, then even an Indian should be right up their alley. They are also American as the HDs. While Harleys are revered more than the Indians, most MCs save a few. Like HAMC will let you ride an Indian motorcycle as long as the engine is more than 1,000 cc's. Plus, there are quite a few Indian motorcycles that one may prefer over Harleys. So this is true. Definitely the Indians. There are diamonds that rock the Indians. There are a lot of diamonds that like the Indian more than the Harley. I don't agree with that. To me, you know, there's nothing like a Harley. You know, I did like the victories, but the Harley is number 1. Number 7, Suzuki Hayabusa, never ridden by American OMCs. So I was going to say that is not happening with outlaw bikers. So none of the American outlaw motorcyclists will ever be seen on a Japanese bike. Mostly because when the outlaw motorcycle clubs were being formed, they came right after the wars and the anti-Japan sentiment was at an all-time high. So this is definitely the truth. And yet, many outlaw bikers like the Ghost Rider, a Swedish motorcyclist, stunt rider, and traffic outlaw, rides only the Hayabusa, mostly because it is an awesome, power-packed motorcycle with riding ease. Pack it with nitrous and nearly nothing could stop it or even outride it. Sadly, American outlaws would not know of the Hayabusa's delights. So that sounded like a little commercial for Hayabusa right there. He's right about that. Like, no OMC is gonna. Now, I've known diamond clubs to have members that actually did have a street bike. They have a race division, and sometimes they'll have that as a bottom rocker because they actually race. I have seen that before in one club. Number 6, Buell, came Harley owned. While most outlaw bikers in the US go for Harley-Davidsons as their choice of ride, be it for the club's business and even as means of transportation, other American bikes like Indian and even Buell are let in sometimes. So I don't know anybody that rides one of these. I'm not gonna say that it's not possible. If it's American made, then, you know, a lot of clubs will accept it. Some are just straight up Harley-Davidson, but if it's an American bike, they will accept it in certain outlaw clubs. Also, do remember by 1993, Harley-Davidson motorcycles owned 49% of Buell, and it was started by an ex-Harley-Davidson engineer, Eric Buell. By 2003, Buell was solely owned by HD, and even if they were discontinued by 2009, it is still American enough to be accepted by most OMCs. Number 5, West Coast Choppers, Bad Boy Bikes. Even if Jesse James is not part of an outlaw biker club, he is enough of a bad body himself to be considered an outlaw biker. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Can you be considered an outlaw biker if you're not in an outlaw biker club? So the bike he makes on the West Coast Choppers were considered very American and very cool by plenty of MC members, even if they were not used for the club's official business. So I agree with this 1000%. You know, a chopped out bike, I mean, that's definitely accepted. You know, who doesn't love a dope chopper, you know? That's American as it gets. Number 4, BMW S1000 RR, and it says HAMC's new ride with a question mark. In 2018, a few HAMC members suddenly dumped their long patronized Harley-Davidsons and were seen riding BMWs, in particular the BMW S1000 RR, a racing bike made for the Superbike World Championship of 2009, is beginning to gain favor with a 990cc engine. This is not a cruiser, but powerful enough to make a long ride comfortable and zippier as well. If it's not over 1,000, I mean 1,300, they're not allowing it. So 999, nah, I don't see that. Maybe they have them as a second bike and they do stuff with it on their leisure, but as as a club member and riding with their cut on and stuff like that, nah, they're not going for that. He said, with literally everyone in their neighbor riding an HD, maybe it's truly time to give the other bike brand a chance and stand out from the crowd as well. So number 3, Kawasaki Vulcan. Outlaw bikers love this one. I agree with that one. I think a lot of outlaw bikers that are not in clubs rock with the Vulcans. I know some clubs that did have people with Vulcans, but they couldn't get their diamond or get fully patched. Some clubs do that. They'll let you ride. As long as you have a cruiser, they'll let you ride, but you can't get fully patched until you get an American. When American Outlaw Motorcycle Club expands to other countries via international chapters, it changes which bikes can be ridden. Not every country prefers a Harley, and believe it or not, Kawasaki's are quite the bikes of choice for outlaw bikers all over the world, including, of course, Asia. The Vulcan bikes comes in various displacement, with the Vulcan 2000 being a 2053cc V-twin and makes a colossal 141 foot-pound of torque. Armed with one of the best V-twins, they can cruise pretty fine and have great riding comfort, perfect for punishing long rides. So I don't know what the mandates are in different countries. Every country is different. All their rules are different, so that varies, where you live and stuff like that. Number 2, and this is a thing that I've talked about in the past, victory over Harley. Back in the day, and for many outlaw bikers even today, anything but a US made Harley-Davidson was not patriotic and lily white enough. When Sonny Barger, a prominent and respected HAMC member, said that he only rode Harleys because the club wanted him to, but he didn't like them, ears perked up. Of course, Barger was patriotic too and preferred the all-American Victory motorcycles, especially the Victory cross-country motorcycle, and found it to be more reliable and way cooler than the HD. Sadly, Victory motorcycles shut shop in 2017, but there are still plenty of them on sale. And listen, I said it before, if you haven't seen the video that I did about why 1%ers ride American bikes, and I broke down a clip from a Sonny Barger interview, and I agree 1000%. I really was sad that Victory went under, because I believe that Victory was starting to give us what they want. If you really take a look at that Victory highball, it came with the apes, it came with the white walls. They were working with us. Harley-Davidson gives you the most stock bike and expects everybody to put 30 grand into their bike to make it look how they really want. Like, a lot of people do not want that chromey. They know what they're doing. They keep the bikes as far from the way people will want it, so they have to spend a lot of money, and that's what I don't respect about them. And if Victory would have stayed in business, I believe by now they would have been making bikes that are like so close to what we want. You wouldn't even have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars trying to trick the bike out. Number 1, big dog motorcycles for canine lovers. Any outlaw biker who loves dogs have to have a beard of big dog motorcycles with names like Old Smoky, Husky, Boxer, Pitbull, and many more. These were cool bikes, choppers with oversized fenders and handles, ape hangers really, and lasted from 1994 to 2011, post which the company shut shop. Since these were also pure American, some OMCs let them in, and they were a big favorite with independent outlaw bikers with no club affiliation as well. Riding a big dog meant you loved both motorcycles and dogs, and for a while these were the biggest and coolest chick magnets ever. So that is the top 10 right there. In my opinion, I think that he didn't go bike for bike, he went company. In my opinion, when it comes to the outlaw bikes, I say on the East Coast, it's the Glides. All the outlaw members have glides. Everybody, you know what I mean? Big fairing. So on the West Coast, I would say is very different. Like you still see the glides, but you see a lot more of the Road Kings. The Road King, I would say, is number one. And then you also see those diners a lot, the club style diners. So it's a kind of toss up between those. I do see the soft tails out there. Me having a soft tail, to me, is a little bit more rare out here. And the way I have it is definitely rare. It's a little bit more, you know, souped up, like more of a West Coast kind of style with the big ape hangers and stuff like that. But yeah, those are the bikes that the Outlaws mostly ride. So let me know in the comments, hit me with a pound, what bike you ride. I ride the Softail Slim, the 2017 FLS, the greatest bike in the world. Just messing with y'all. Shout to everybody out there. If you want to support the show, you could get the clothing underneath every video. We have the merch shelf, or you could go to www.demonsrow.com. Follow us on Instagram at demonsrow, at @SosTheGhost_, and follow our second page, the Sos the Ghost page. We've been putting out a lot of content on there. You got to see what we've been doing. Crossover, follow that page, and thank you for tuning in to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby.